Hi everybody, welcome back, or welcome if this is your first time here. Today we are doing a cozy and realistic settlement build at the castle. As a reminder, this is a cozy and realistic series where we play as the general of the Minutemen and we work to make the Commonwealth safer, one settlement at a time. Today we are doing the castle, which is a great victory for us as the Minutemen. We have finally reclaimed the castle. We've got radio freedom up and running. So this is really going to make a difference in the governance of the Minutemen and how we help the Commonwealth. Okay, let's get right into it. So I've already done like the initial quest to unlock the castle where you set up a generator, but I hate this. It looks bad. So I think we should work on getting the wiring better. Did I put this here? I feel like I did put this here and then I kind of forgot. This seems like a good entry spot, right? I don't know where the power should live, to be honest. I just don't. Let's get this out of the way. That obviously shuts everything off, but where do they intend the power to come out? It must be through here. This is such a unique settlement location because they already have all the power stuff like hooked up, which is very cool. Yeah, okay. So I think it makes sense to have a generator outside, and I think here would be a good location for it. I don't know why there's a switch power pylon here, and honestly, I can't remember if I did that or if it already existed. Maybe we put, how much power do we need? Probably a large one. Maybe we put this here. I wish it could scooch kind of closer though. Sorry, I know this is such a boring like start to this video. This is where we should intend to connect it. So let's get some like more pylons set up, I guess. Sometimes you gotta do logistics first. And that's just the way it be. There's a lot of logistics in restarting civilization, you know? And if anybody can do it, I believe the Minutemen can. Okay, so now we can get rid of this one. There, that's awesome. So this stays, oop, no, that isn't. Oh, because this needs to, there we go. Ooh, I see the issue. I see the issue because this requires 10, but then we also have like water going on that requires more. Okay. Actually, would this look better if we bring it in more of a straight line? I really hate how this looks, but we're gonna find a way to work around it. That's what we do, and that's kind of the point of this whole series, finding ways to integrate each settlement's natural charm. Let's do that and that. That should be enough. And then I guess this switch is nice because it means we can turn off all the lights inside, which I think would also turn off our water production though, so we're not gonna do that. Okay. Rough start, not gonna lie, but that's okay. Let's also build up a better farm while we're here. Hi, how are you? You don't need to talk to me. I know a lot of people, there are a ton of mods to sort of rebuild these walls in a really like complete and fortified way. And I've seen those mods and those builds are really interesting, but I think our goal here is to be a little more realistic about it, a little cozier about it, because I don't think that we would have like a bulldozer or a concrete mixer. I don't think that realistically we could fix this wall. So I have some ideas of what we could do with this space instead, but I don't think that's where the farm would go. We're a little bit limited in what actually counts as ground and what doesn't. So we actually might already be, like this might have to be where the farm is already, but we could make it look a lot nicer with a little fence and sort of keep that organized. let's go ahead. Let's do the wire fence for this. I think that makes sense in this settlement, and we'll put a little door here. And this will be right next to the workshop itself, which I think is nice. Like that works. Okay. How close can I get this to these existing posts without like cutting them off, you know? Oh, it doesn't look like they're gonna complain if the wire goes through them, which is great. Will that work the same on this side though? Yes. Oh, that's great. Okay. That sort of builds it in nicely to the existing stuff that we've got. It is floating. Is it floating? It looks like it's floating a little bit, so we might have to come back to that. We're gonna, oh, sorry, sir. Don't mind me. Oh, I just put the fence in the workshop, didn't I? That's okay. We just got to get these out of the way. I know, you're doing a great job. I will, I'll come back for you. He's looking at me like, I know, I'm so sorry. And then, oh, no, we actually don't want this one here because we want to be able to connect to another gate. So we want this instead. That is floating. Okay, those both open in a way that is nice. And then I think we pull it out like one square this way. Yeah, that feels like a good size farm. And we'll just finish off. Is it floating? Now I feel like it's not. That's touching the ground. That's touching the ground, right? Yeah, that feels pretty good. Okay. Oop, not you. I'm just moving the mute fruit. Yeah, see, we're on like concrete now, so there's going to be some limits to where we can put these, which is frustrating. So we might do a garden plot. Let's get the rest of those. Look, he's still just standing there watching us. I'm sorry, sir. I apologize for the inconvenience. Okay, so that's 3. Maybe this whole section here can be the mute fruit grove. Okay, so that'll bring us back to 6. Let me reassign him so he has more of a purpose. Again, sorry about that, sir. And then we can use the garden plots to make these other areas plantable. Yeah. And if we just do 2 of these, I think it'll feel balanced. This is kind of a crowded farm, but I think that works for a settlement like the castle because it's a very specific footprint, you know? There's not like a sprawling farm area that we can move to. Okay, what other crops would work for them? Corn, I think, would be good. As we've sort of figured out before, these plots are a little finicky about how many plants can go on them, but we've had good luck with doing 4, like 1 in each corner. Yeah. So we'll do some corn and some carrots. Okay, so units of food, these are each a half, so that would be 2, 4, 6, 8. And then technically a person could do 4 more, right? Is there room for another one of these? Oh, if we stack it, there is. I know that feels cramped, but it doesn't bother me as much as I would have guessed that it would. Like if there's still room for the crops, I think it's fine that they're kind of all Let me back up before I say that. Yeah. Actually, why can't I just scooch this one a little closer to the edge? I think, like, I want to say there would be room to sort of jam it in there. Let's move this for just a second. Hold up, hold up. Now let's grab... Oop, why am I selected on the corn? Nope. I'm still... Okay. Hold on. You gotta break a few eggs to make an omelet. Okay. Zooming out, can we afford more floor space for the farm? Yeah, I think so. So maybe we just make this a little bigger. Because I think we'd want 12 food production here because we're already at 6 people. And each person can handle, I think it's 6 units of food production. So we want to have 2 farmers on full capacity for dealing with the farm. Okay. I feel like I should have started with something else to give you a more engaging start to this build, but sometimes that's just not how the cookie crumbles. We did our last 3 builds were actually all in Sanctuary, so it feels weird not being still in Sanctuary, I guess. Why is this one being weird? I guess that's fine. It's close enough. It feels weird not still being in Sanctuary. That was a very fun build to do, although I am glad to be done with it. And I think we're going to aim for videos capped at about an hour moving forwards, because those Sanctuary videos really... Oh my goodness. Let me see, because some of these do look like they're floating now. If I can just sink them like a little bit. I don't know if this will work. I'm worried. Yeah, I'm worried it'll sink the mute fruit trees too. Actually, it doesn't look like anything is sinkable. Why is that? Interesting. Oh, there we go. I guess that'll just do like a little. Does that feel okay? Yeah, we're still nicely coming intersection with these existing ones, but it looks much more settled into the ground now, so I'm fine with that. These trees, though, we need to fix now. I don't know why I'm still glitched onto the corn. Okay. This poor farmer, he's just trying to do his job, and I am making it so difficult for him. Why am I still grabbing this dang corn? Okay. Oh, oh, okay. These look really ugly up close. Come on. You know what? As always, there's timestamps in this video. So if this is as painful for you as it is for me, feel free to skip ahead. I really shouldn't have left the trees in there while I adjusted the fencing, because I think that's why I can't grab them now. Oh, no, I can. Come on. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. So now we have more than enough room to fit those garden plots back in. We just need to figure out where everything can go. We'll put that one there. Maybe we'll just do the line of mute fruit trees here. Is my mistake that this guy is already assigned to do stuff? Like, is that why I'm struggling so much? Maybe. There we go. I know I'm really messing with his day. He's also not even properly in a Minuteman uniform. There we go. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're a little clumped together, but that's how they wanted to be. So who am I to judge? I do have a bunch of Minuteman uniforms in my inventory right now, so I am looking forward to dressing everybody up. Okay, now this one can move separately. Put the carrot back here. This will go in here. We're gonna run into the same issue, aren't we? Hold on. We'll get food out of the way. This will be like we're working our way up the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you know? We're just gonna start with food and water, and then we'll do more interesting things later. Okay, yeah, that's still not gonna fit. Let me scrap that for now, and let's see if we just have enough space now to spread 4 more units of food out and about. Like razor green would be nice. Actually, razor green would be really nice. If I can scooch this out, maybe we do like a whole... Yeah! 1, 2. Maybe we match that on this side. Scooch you like this. And then we'll have like kind of a natural fence. Nope, that one's huge. Maybe we won't, because this razor green is gonna fight me. This one's playing nicer. Why, the other one was just here. What do you have a problem with it for? Can we scooch this more? No, because I still can't select it. Can't take these farmers for granted. I'm telling ya. Turns out they work magic just by being here. Okay, is there another half-point plant that I can just place in here, and then that'll bring us right up to 12? No. It could go right there. I hate that, but it could go right there. Can I put a carrot in that same spot, and we'll just call this plot really full of carrots? Like if I... No, because I can't grab any of these for some reason. Oh, yes I can. Yes I can. And then, can this guy go in any of those spots, or just here in the corner? That's fine. If that's how the carrots want to grow, who am I to say no? Okay. Was that a little more chaotic than I would have liked? Yes. But that's fine. Let's go ahead and give the farmer a little... Oop, he's stuck now. Okay. Let's give him a little bench to sit on. And a little water pump as well. There's a little bench. Although if this water pump is going to fight me too about being in dirt, I'm going to give up. We can go back here, and it can go on this side. Okay, that's fine. We'll face it like that. And then I might have a metal bucket on me. Yeah, I do. That would make sense as like you can fill up the bucket and then you can take it in here for the crops. Okay, this fence is messing everybody up. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's okay. Don't worry about it. I'm trying to make these quieter. I guess they're not bad. Okay. Okay, well that was a very difficult little farm, but now we have a little farm. So we have, okay, 6 people, 6 food. We can put one more person on this. If I can find one more person. Wasn't there just some guy stuck in it? I'm not gonna make Preston farm because he won't always be here. You can help farm, yes? Yeah. Although, if I attract other settlers, hold on, because we don't have a recruitment beacon up, do we? I think you can still attract settlers to the castle, right? Ooh, now this one is loud. There we go. That's lovely. Okay. So now we have our little farm, which is blocking this entrance a little bit, which I don't love, but maybe that just means I keep that gate closed because there is another entrance. Okay. I don't know if we will attract other settlers, but if I do attract other settlers, I think the civilian settlers would be better for doing the farm because the Minutemen are our guards. And I actually think that's really interesting, like story-wise, that this is a location that anybody can just sort of sign up to join and like join the Minutemen. Let's scrap some things inside. This looks like it's meant to be the mess hall, and I think we can keep it that way, and I think that'll be great. But I do think we can scrap some stuff. The can and the water can stay there. The cardboard box, obviously, let's get rid of. Ooh, what are these? More cans. Stove we can keep, of course. I'm just going to move it over a bit. Flamer fuel. Let's store that. The refrigerator door we obviously don't need. Okay, what's going on here? Oh, we already got another person. Now we're struggling on beds. Oh, we got 2 more people. That was fast. Okay. Do you think they'll be okay? Maybe I just put down some sleeping bags. I've had people ask me, why don't you build the settlement first and then attract people? I like having people come as I'm decorating stuff because I think decorating the people is part of that. Like I like putting them in their little outfits. Let's scrap all these beer bottles. Oop, not the shelf. We can keep the shelf. This one is broken, so we'll get rid of it. Let's move this one. Ooh, that, what was that, kitchen mitt thing? Oven mitt. That can stay up here. And we'll just arrange the rugs a little better. Although, you know, I love rubber flooring, so maybe I replace these with rubber flooring. There we go. Okay. Sinks make sense to keep, and I like how this has like some plumbing because usually our plumbing is just imaginary. Sinks make sense to keep. Ooh, they have soap. Can those go on the sinks? If I do like that, I think it makes more sense for the soap to be like available. Yeah. And then we can get rid of just the wood box. These fridges are obviously broken, so I think we can just scrap them. Just a missile hanging out. Oh, we'll need whiskey and vodka at some point. Okay. I would want more of a cooking area. So let's do, that looks too much like a filing cabinet. But this, I could be convinced is a counter. Yeah. That'll be good. This, I could be convinced, has more like plates and stuff in it. I always love doing a cooler because we don't have refrigerators, so the cooler's kind of the closest we're gonna get. I don't know why that's jumping up into the cabinet, but that'll be okay. And then I feel like we would have some miscellaneous things that could be interesting here as well. Counter, maybe. That could be neat to sort of section off the cooking area from the hand washing area. Hold on, let's see how that looks. Yeah, I don't hate that. Because then this is like explicitly a cooking zone. This is a hand washing zone. Let's start to arrange these too, because where people sit will help us determine how we organize them. If this is a sitting zone, then this should move over here, which I can't really do because I put this in the way. So let's make it even higher. Why not? We have the headspace. Okay, that's cooking zone. That's eating zone 1. That's eating zone 2. That's cute. Okay, what other miscellanea do we have here that might be interesting? Dispenser. This feels appropriate. Yeah. Although, would this be on our counter or here? I think this could go here. And what is this? I'm assuming it's another type of dispenser for like food or something. Can't go on the wall though, right? Okay, hold on. Is there a taller counter? No. Would that be like a table? I feel like I remember seeing something like this. Yes, absolutely. This is what I was picturing. Yes. I think actually this is what I want instead of the other counter. So let's scrap that one. Let's put this, and then let's do another one right after it. Yeah. Yeah. Because that way it feels a little more, what's the word? Immersive, appropriate, believable, that has a drink dispenser on top of it. And I want these to just barely kiss. Come on. Does that work? It does feel a little disconnected. Okay. I believe in this cafeteria. Can we? No, maybe not. Oh, we were closer than it was before, though. Hold up. I think that'll be fine for now. We'll live with that. Do we need another ceiling light over here to sort of balance stuff out? I think yes, because we have power, so we might as well use it. And what type of chairs would look good here? Not folding chairs. I think these rubber looking chairs are the best options for a cafeteria, sort of mess hall. Yeah. I'll put these down and then we'll step away and get more of a perspective on it. Yeah, that's really lovely. Okay, and there, and there, and there. And then also over here, I feel like an Eatatronic would be good, but I don't know where that is. Is that under wall decorations? I think yes. Yes. And we can even give them the newer one because I feel like the Minutemen would have had that sort of maintained better. Okay, so we've got eatrotronic, we've got some shelves, we've got eating area, more shelves. And then I also want to do, where did we find those counters? Because there's another one with the like divot in it. It wasn't over here, was it? Was it a table? Hello, sir. The cafeteria is not yet open. Like this. Actually, maybe my normal like filing cabinet doesn't make as much sense here as like this. Yeah, that actually feels way more appropriate in here because we have this like sort of mess hall vibes. That's really cute. I'm not gonna make the mistake of trying to make those perfect again though. Yeah. That's fine. It's fine where it is. I wish there was a nicer cooking stove, but we're just gonna have to be okay with that. Okay, that's really cute. Let's do a some rubber flooring over by the sinks because I'm sure that people would have wet hands and drip. And this might help them to be a little cleaner. I don't know why it's fighting me. We'll just do one. Okay, awesome. So we have a little drink dispenser. We have a cooking setup, seating area 1, seating area 2. What else can we do here? Signs? I think an employees must wash hand sign would be good. Yeah, just one, I think. No smoking by the cooking area for sure. And then is there a place for a sign that makes sense here? Yeah. Like this being labeled as the food room. Oh, I guess that texture is going to kind of lock us out though. It could go here. Like food. Yeah. Food in the mess hall. I like that. And then I think, again, because this is the Minutemen sort of headquarters, I think there's a lot of opportunities for doing mounted objects that make sense here. Like a death claw head. Yeah. Although it was the Meyerlurks that took over the castle and we had to slay to get the castle back. So I think maybe... yeah, this is a better like centerpiece because we did have to kill a queen. Yeah, a nod to the history of the place. We can do 2 on this side. Oh, I like the hunter more than the king. The king is like the thing from The Shape of Water. It's a little too human. Okay, there we go, there we go. Okay, so Meyerlark trophies on that side, and then the big queen trophy on that side. And can we scooch this to make this corner a little better lit? Yeah, that's a little better. Okay, I'm really liking that as a mess hall. I think that's really, really lovely. Let's see what I can put in here though to make this even more lived in, because I think like a pork and beans would be good, potato chips would be good, Salisbury steak would be good. If I had, maybe we go out to the farm and harvest some mute fruit, because I think that would be good in that, like, what is the word? The cabinet with the serving spaces in it. Salisbury steak over here. Let's actually take this off the table because I don't want anybody, you know, not eating it because they think somebody else has taken it out already. Like, that's up for grabs. Let's go grab some fruit.
Out here,
None of these have fruit on it. Yeah, okay, hold on. Does this have fruit? No, why don't we have any mute fruit yet? Probably because I kept pushing that guy off of farming. That's okay. We can leave the mess hall as it is for now, which I really like. I think that turned out really lovely. Although
I wish more people could see this. Remind them what it's all about.
I'm realizing there's not actually a way to buy food in here. And so maybe we do a food and drink here, you know? Is there room for this? I don't like that it's 2 spaces. Maybe we do. Because that's not terrible. If this... Okay, so if the dispenser moves to this one, this counter gets moved. And this becomes a bar. Yeah, that fits in really nicely. And then somebody can like work here to serve food, which I think is good. Since we've gotten more people, let's see if we can find them and see if they show up as settlers or Minutemen. You're a Minuteman. You're a Minuteman. Like, does everybody who arrive in this area, do they just automatically become Minuteman? Or are people still like civilian settlers? Yes, okay. So you definitely are not going to be on guard duty because that's what we have the actual Minutemen for. But you, come here, can do the bar. Because I like that idea, like that he's kind of just like an in-house chef. Okay, that's cute. That headlamp, I understand why he's got it. It's stupid. Yeah, you could be a farmer here. Okay, I like that you've assigned yourself to farming. When we get another settler, we'll assign them to farming too, so this guy can do something else.
Crops been growing pretty good lately.
I just want to trade a few things.
There's a lot of dialogue happening. Let's give her farm hand clothes so we can differentiate her from the Minutemen that we have walking around.
Huh?
I'd like to trade some items.
Go ahead.
And similarly, we'll give this guy a minute. Do I have a Minutemen outfit? Yes, I do. Good. Minutemen outfit. And I'm going to take his flannel shirt because I actually think I want to put that on whatever other farmer we get when we can relieve him.
Howdy.
Ronnie, can I assign Ronnie Shaw to anything? Oh, she's assigned to the armory? I didn't realize that we were like...
That's in trouble. I'll mark the location on your map.
Ooh, we got Green Top Nursery. That might be what we do next. Okay, so that does it for the mess hall. Ooh, you're another settler. Nope, you're the one I assigned to the bar. Never mind. Okay, so that about does it for the mess hall. So I think we can start setting up some of these areas as like little bedrooms. And I'm very much thinking like college dorm vibes for these. Oh, there's a little missile under here, isn't there? That's fun. Very dangerous. I'm very much thinking like college dorm vibes for these, where we have sort of this shared public private space where we can try and give them like little bits of personality for things. But this would essentially be the barracks. So let me see, because I want to give them a little bit of privacy. Like something like this, you know, would be kind of nice. I think it should face out because that's just more texturally interesting for us. That does mean that his footlocker is going to get moved, but maybe we put a suitcase under the bed for him instead. Now that I know suitcases can go under the beds, I'm fully obsessed with it. I just want whoever, you know, is there to feel like they have a little more privacy. Although I did like the footlocker. We can keep the footlocker for the other one. Do a bed here. We'll give him a footlocker. And let's give him the end table, because I want to put candles on it. Candles. This bed is really gross for absolutely no reason, so I'm just gonna give them the nicer one too. Although now it's not going to fit, and I don't know why. Maybe the bed just has to go down first before I put stuff under it. That's fine. There. Okay. So we have kind of dorm 1, dorm 2, and let's put some stuff up that feels a little more homey for them. So I could see this guy having a shelf with some stuff on it. And then I could see like some posters or paintings. Paintings feel weirder in here just because of the stone stuff, and I don't like really know why I feel that way. Ooh. Maybe this guy had a kill, took care of a blowfly by himself, and he's very proud of that. These, I don't like how thick they are, so I usually just scroll to the back for the thinner sections. And because we have power everywhere here, this is going to be really cool. I'm going to give this guy a Jamaica plain one. Yeah. And then maybe like a little rug to warm their little feet. That seems too outdoorsy though. Hold on. This one feels like you don't have your slippers on yet. Kind of there. Okay. Dorm bunk 1, bunk 2. Like that. I'm going to scooch this to the side. I'm pretty sure I have a tabletop frame on me. Do I? Ooh, I have a bunch of vases. We can definitely do a vase. I just get the vibe if somebody's coming in. There it is, desktop picture frame. If somebody's coming in with like a Jamaica frame poster, I'm going to assume that they have more of a civilian backstory. So it's going to sink into the... Okay, that's very strange. That's gone. That fully fell through the floor. Good thing I have 20 of them. That was wild. Y'all saw that? And then we heard it kind of fall. That was bonkers. Okay. How do I... Oh, that'll work. That'll work. Oh. Yeah, there we go. And then we don't need
that's worth taking with us?
Yes, I am, Preston. And I hope this moves with stuff on it. No, of course it doesn't. That's okay. We'll reposition it over here. I'm not going to risk it falling through. Oh, no. Okay, hold on. But my vibe for this person is maybe they had a bit more of a civilian backstory and they have these like home comforts from before they joined up with the Minutemen. Maybe they're trying to bring some money back to their family and they just have some more like preference for civilian stuff. I think a lot about how like the Raiders, people who join the Raiders, it's just because they need like money and food and security. Like we need that guy who joins the, should this stay a first aid station like this? I think the hospital is the bigger one. We meet that guy who joins up with the Children of Adam, not because he's a religious fanatic, but solely because he needs safety and security and 3 square meals a day. And the Children of Adam can provide that. And that makes a huge difference. And people kind of forget that if we're providing, we're really dealing with the Raider problem just by providing or just by building out the castle and giving people a place to go, a job to have and make money and bring back to their families. Okay, so we've upgraded that. I'm actually going to scooch it back a little more just so it doesn't jut out into this hallway. And we'll give them a bed too. So this will be our medical center. Yeah. And I think we can still do the full-sized bed for them here. Yeah. And I love, where's that locker? I love doing a locker in like medical settings just because it has so many uses. It can be where the doctor stores their lab coats. It can be where people store their clothes if they have to strip down for an exam. There's just so many things that it could be. And then where are the little like vault nightstands? I also love using those in a medical context. Ooh, there's some good stuff back here. No, it wouldn't be in shelves. I think it is in tables. I think I just missed it. No, is it miscellaneous? Maybe it's miscellaneous, but I know for sure. Yes, it is. Okay. Cart, I think would be good here, especially if we can get that really close. Actually, I like it right next to the clinic itself. Yeah. And then we can also grab the sink, which I think makes a lot of sense for our doctor. Except it can't go there. Okay, maybe it'll go here instead. Yes. That's good. Okay. Clinic. I'm so glad we have the ceiling space for this one because the other clinic, the wide one, is just, it's too wide for this space. So this is working out, or this will be real nice for us. And then I'm obsessed with the fact that we have, like, this is all powered up because these posters, we can have all these posters and they'll be lit up in like every room. And I know there's a Milton General one. If I didn't already scroll past it. Oh no, we're getting a rad storm. I did scroll past it. Like, these are just so good. And the fact that they can be like powered up in the settlement is an absolute delight. There we go, Milton General Hospital. Because it adds so much personality to the castle, which is so sterile without any intervention. We'll do shelves, and let's do a metal shelf like this. And I know I have some, yeah, Radex. Radex, I think, looks the best. Oop, did not mean to take one. I think it looks the best on these shelves. If I drop 3, will those stack? Yep, they will. Let me do that again. Let's drop 1 at a time. I think that Radex looks the best on those shelves because it's got like a vertical height to it that Radaway doesn't have. But we could put, again, did not mean to take that. We could put one of these on the cart. I'm not even going to try and select 1 out of the 100 there. But Mentats, I think, could also go on the cart.
What? Was it broken?
I don't know what Preston's talking about. Yeah, that's perfect. And then these should go up here without too much of a fight. Perfect. That's lovely. And if I can get all 3 of them on there, it will be. I really feel like there should be more like area on these shelves to place things. Oh, perfect. Yeah, a little trio of pill bottles up there. That's really nice. Surgery center. And I think a Minuteman. Ooh, though we do have another settler. Yeah, because we're already at 9 people.
I don't think we've met yet. I wanted to personally thank you for giving us this opportunity.
You are
Any place
welcome.
you want me to pitch in?
Yeah, I think I'm going to make
Not right
you...
now. Thanks.
All right.
I never signed through that menu because it's so glitchy. But I think I'm going to make you our other farmer. Actually, I want to make him the doctor because we already have that set up.
I just want to trade a few things.
Okay.
And with the doctors, I have such a hard time assigning them or putting a lab coat on them after I've already assigned them. So it's easier to do before. There you go. There you go. You got your work cut out for you because we're in the middle of a rad storm and people are piling on the rads. And let's assign him to this bed too while we've got him. Perfect. Perfect. We're still looking for somebody to take over the second farming position. Ooh, this guy just lives on the floor. Let's actually assign him, because he's our bartender, to this, because he can be the recruit that signed up that has a taste for home, which is very cute. Because then he's near, he's near the dining hall. What is this space? This space, we have the stairs to go up. I think we have room for one little bunk here. So let's go ahead and do that. Another bed that can go right in this corner. Yeah. And let's give him a nightstand too. Why can't I find a nightstand? Actually, a desk could be cute here. Yeah, because this would be one of our guards, so maybe it makes sense that they have a place to work as well. And then table. Oh, again, forgot I had taken the Rad-X. Did not mean to do that. Since we have a desk, I don't feel like we need another like table, so maybe a footlocker would be good here for this guy. I'm using guy as a very gender neutral term. There, footlocker. Another shelf here. Yeah, let's line it up. Yeah. And then, of course, a chair for this desk. I like the darker chair. Yeah, this one. That's my favorite one. Okay. It's a pretty basic, like, guard setup. And I think that's nice. I think this will be a good sort of blank slate. This is our farmer settler. We'll hold off on that for now. So we have the medic area. Can't scrap that. Can't do much in this hallway. We can do more bunks in this hallway, but this, I believe, is the general's quarters. Does this not? Oh, it won't go all the way in here, will it? Well, how did the other ones get power? Is it just lower? Yeah, okay. What? How does the mess hall get power? We gotta take some notes. There's no conduits in here. Preston's so confused following me back and forth. Okay, so that should be enough. I think we just gotta move the light bulb a little closer. Or just move it at all. That's great. That's the entrance to the tunnels. These picture frames are ruined, so we'll get rid of them. I love an antique globe, so I actually do want to keep that. A lot of the stuff we can keep. I'll scrap the ammo box. Store the flamer fuel. I guess we can keep the cigar box and stuff. Let's start replacing the picture frames. I think the paintings that we have... what's the word for the genre of paintings we have here at the end? These ones. I think these ones are perfect for the general's room. Because regardless of whether or not they're people that are relevant, I think they have just such a good revolutionary vibe. Revolutionary, I think is the word I was looking for. We'll keep the flag. But we'll replace these broken ones. Did I already do that guy? Did I do that guy? No. That's really nice. We'll scrap this bed and we'll do a better bed here, which would of course be our bed because we are a general of the Minutemen. There we go. I don't love that the bed is just like the backdrop of, oh, this rug is ugly, so let's get rid of that. I don't love that the bed is just like the backdrop of the Minuteman meetings. Let's store this. It'll make sense somewhere else. And then rugs on the table I'm not into. But I do think another rug under here will be really nice. And unfortunately, that means we have to move this stuff first. So let me just store it. I want... yeah, just like a basic... not with the little circles. Just a plain one. But then we can do the same setup on top of that because I actually really liked how that looked with the chairs. It feels like a meeting room, and that's what we need. We'll just do more chairs. Because that would be one of our big responsibilities as General of the Minutemen, is holding these meetings with the rest of the Minutemen and doing strategy planning, figuring out, you know, defense. Oh my goodness. How do I... cool. There we go. There we go. Wow, I am not good at spatial rotation. Oh, there we go. There we go. I think a globe makes sense here for our like planning. There. Oh, that stood up. Lovely. Okay. It's still like pretty basic, but I feel like that's fine. We've got some cigars, we've got a bed, we've got a meeting table. Is there anything that goes well in this corner? This bureau, I think, would do really nicely. And then maybe we do that, or one of the vases over here. What was it called? Let's do the taller one. Oop. There we go. Yeah, just a homey little feel. And then I actually think that's pretty good since we already have lighting in here, bed in the back, a little vase, updated portraiture, a bureau. Yeah, I think this is really good as the general's room. Okay, perfect. Okay, that's lovely. There are more, I want to do more bunks in all of these spaces, but we're already coming up on almost an hour. These builds just go so fast, but I really need to stop myself from doing a 2-hour build every week because those just are taking way too much time for me to edit. So let's do one more thing in this build, and then we'll do a part 2 of the castle next week. But I think doing a farmer's house to fill up some of these gaps would be really interesting. Okay, that's out to the water. Which is the like entrance? Is this the entrance? Hold on. Yeah, this is the entrance. Okay, so something could go in that gap for sure. Right? This is... no, this is the... this is the back, right? Oop. This is the back. So is that gaping hole the entrance? Holy moly, it might be. It is. Okay, so we can't... I mean, we could, but I wouldn't block that off. This will just stay the entrance. Okay. And then the other hole, this one, we can block off with some Yeah, right? Yeah, because this is just the water. Okay. We're going to work around it. Because again, it's just not realistic that these people would have like a bulldozer. That's just not going to happen. So instead, I think it would be a good place to like put some housing, and that'll fill up the gap, but also be housing. So let's just start to fill that out. And my vision for this is that this is where a lot of our like civilian contributors live. Like this would be where the farmers maybe live. Okay. Oop, I didn't want that. I wanted these little stairs. I never get to use these little stairs because it's not like quite a full, not quite a full anything or full level. But maybe here. Wait, why can't they go here? Put them in the middle of the ground. Why can't they go here? Hold up. Oh. That's interesting. Okay. That's really interesting. Huh. I wonder why that is. Yeah, I think it's got to be those half ones. Well, maybe that's why I don't use those too often. If I can't. That's so weird, right? Okay, well, let's say they go there. Oh, and let's say this one goes here. So we have an entrance into this little area of housing. And then, okay, let me get these like straight at least, and then just as close as I can get to this side. That's gonna cause a bit of an issue. We're gonna try and make this work. If I grab this, nope, because that grabs everything. That is a bit of a problem. Hold on just 1 second. I'm gonna try and do these separately and then attach it later. Oh, but I didn't leave myself enough room. Because the goal here, I think, is just to do some like ramshackle housing. Can I snap this automatically? No, okay. This is like pieces of the puzzle. Bethesda's so specific about what can snap first. Okay. If this works, that'll be really cool. If it doesn't, I want it to snap to that. Yes. Oh, exactly. Because if this could go here, it'll be really cool. Like, that's really cool. Let's do that behind it. And this just to balance out the porch feeling. This is still too close. So if I... Oop, that won't move the whole thing, will it? Oh, I didn't want to grab the house next to it. Okay, we got to go back. We got to go back a few steps then. Is this far enough away that it won't grab it? No. We're going to rebuild that. I'm confident. I'm really confident in this vision, so I'm okay taking some extra time to get it right. Which way did these go? That'll go here. And now we can grab this. Okay. And that'll go there. Because it'll be okay if it's like floating a little bit. Because that'll be house 1. And then this. Oh, it grabbed them both again, didn't it? I didn't do it far enough away. Oh. Okay. Okay. Our persistence is going to pay off. This is going to be really cool. Or at least moderately cool. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. Because now, what I want to do is find a place for it where the ladder is like just barely touching the other one. You know what I mean? And I'm actually going to grab it more by the ladder so I can do that a little better. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yes. And come here. That's close. It's really close. Just not quite. Is it because of the ladder? I don't think so. Maybe it just needs to be farther back. Which means maybe this one needs to be farther somewhere else. Yes, okay. Okay, that fits really nicely where we want it to go here. Yeah, and it can still have a back wall without freaking out. Let's put the stairs back on. Let's grab this by the stairs. Because like right here is where I want it. Why is it having a hard time with that? Is it the stairs? I just want to place this. I just want one like win before we have to end this video. Okay. Wow, no wonder I don't use these stairs. They kind of suck. Oh, wait. That's lovely. That's absolutely lovely. Oh, yes. Oh, that's gorgeous. Okay. Yes. Oh, I'm so excited about this. Let's just get some walls on this. And then I think we'll pause there. We'll split the castle into 2 parts. Can I do? I don't think I have room to do. Oh, we can on this back though. Wait, this is going to be really cute. We'll split the castle into 2 parts. And we'll come back and finish this next week. But for now, this is looking really cool, you guys. Because then they have the gap to kind of overlook stuff. I don't like that wall. But that one's good. That one's good. We'll use it back here for a little texture. Like that. We don't need it over there. That's really, really cool. Hello. And then do we have room here on the back to do like a pop-outy wall, or did we? We do! Oh, I really thought that was going to overlap with the other one too much, but that... Oh, that's so lovely. This is going to be so cool. His neighbor's roof is poking in a little bit, but I think he'll be okay. Spin this the right way around. Yeah. And then can we do another one of these on this side? I know I've been complaining about these the whole time, but yeah. See, that fills up that gap in such a cool way. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with this. Pop a roof on. This house will be bigger, so maybe this is for 2 of the farmers. Or maybe they each get their own house, honestly, depending on how many people we get. I think that could make sense. Yeah, and then this house will be slightly smaller. Is that roof gonna look okay? I don't want people falling off the edge, you know? So anywhere I can put another one of these, that would be really cool. Oh, we can do it in multiple parts. Yeah. You guys, look at how cute that is. Oh, that's really lovely. That is perfect. Some little farmhouses for the civilians that have also moved here to help support the efforts of the Minutemen and the castle. And we'll give them Minutemen blue doors. That's really cute. That's really cute. I think that's where we're going to stop for today. Again, I love doing the longer sanctuary builds, but I want to do a video out every Saturday. That's been kind of my cadence and my goal, and that's just going to be more realistic for me if I try and keep these builds to an hour. So we're going to have to split this into 2 parts, unfortunately, but I will be back next week with the second part of this build. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for joining me, the General of the Minutemen, as we work together to make this Commonwealth safer, one settlement at a time. I have a playlist of all the builds that I have done already. Please go check that out. Give me a like if you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you would want to see next, and as always, I appreciate you. I hope you have a lovely day.